Hey, what's up, guys? Me again, Dan Richardson. I am here just addressing the questions that were posed to us for week 4, and I'm gonna go ahead and dive into those since we do have a time limit. So, the first question was, how are these sessions similar to what I imagined a counseling session being? I said yes, they very much are, both in thought as well as personal experience, both as the counselor and through lots of the pastoral counseling that I'm involved with here at work. The second question is, identify the skills from chapter 8 that I noticed. So the first counseling session, I noticed a lot of paraphrasing being used. It seemed like the counselor was restating a lot for clarity, and then to allow the client to expound on what the counselor had then just said. So it kind of gave him a little bit of time to hear back what he said, but also think through and open up more. So I thought that was interesting. Also used a lot of probing and open-ended questions. He was very attentive. He also followed up on, with the client rather, on some of the action points or action steps that he gave him possibly in prior counseling sessions. That was toward the end, which I thought was very interesting. So he kind of, it dips into a little bit of week 1 and some of the discipleship stuff we talked about. So there's a little bit of possible discipleship going on there. Client number 2 also used a lot of open-ended questions. Counselor 2 rather also used a lot of open-ended questions. She also used the use of the encourager skill. I noticed, can you tell me more about this? Lots of yeah, a little very encouraging, helping the client to communicate. She was very empathetic of the client's feelings as well, summarized a lot for clarity. And I made a note that it seemed like she may have been using some cognitive therapy stuff there as well. And then finally, number 3, used a lot of open-ended questions, paraphrased a lot with follow-on questions, and used the reflection of meaning skill. Talking about how the counselee or the client identified as being a dancer, and now of counseling as a student. So he used a lot of that, it seemed like, throughout his sessions. Some of the differences and similarities I noted: the body language seemed to be different in all 3. The first was very attentive listening, leaning forward and engaging. The second, active listening, but almost a little too intense, I noticed. And then the third, he seemed a little laid back, almost disinterested. I don't think that's the case, but the body language kind of communicated that. And then finally, lots of questions and summarizing for clarity. All 3 of the counselors did that. So a question I'll leave out there for possible discussion is, for counselor number 2, it seemed like she did a lot of summarizing and leading the client a lot. My question then is, was this too much? And does this allow the client to fully process what she's trying to do or trying to say, or what she's feeling? So that's kind of my question out there for you guys. Thank you, guys. See you next week.